So what is the message for people who actually want to take up these uh, courses? Is that information there on your website? How do they sign up? So how do you, could you please throw some light on that? How can people access
So,
these courses?
so one of the things what we are doing in terms of marketing is basically we are going to institutions. So our target focus areas are anybody who's completed 12th standard plus, whatever specialization. I think this is really different from, say, the government guidance that says anybody who's 8th standard pass. We are not discriminating based on qualification. We particularly feel that somebody who has 12th standard would have the age, maturity, would have the understanding. We assuming. I'm not saying that somebody who is 8th pass would not have them. We will take that on a case to case basis, but we also have filtering system we want to kind of look at. So we're trying to look at 12th pass students. We are looking at working with charity or NGOs basically in India who are working with employment and other labor related issues to strengthen that part. Because I think uh, the the educated sector now, the highly educated sector is also having complacency with regards to finding work. We have a much more gap in work and also availability of work at the lower level. So these are people who we want to kind of build up on that particular basis. What we're also looking at is we're targeting nurses, targeting physiotherapists, we're targeting other allied healthcare professionals, because these are also our target groups who we want to kind of enrich with regards to these trainings, short term, long term build up courses. So because these are people who are going to enter the care market also in the longer term, either independently through companies or through hospitals based systems. So that's basically what we want to do. What we also want to do is we want to make the courses affordable. We don't want to charge exuberant rates. We want it to be affordable so that masses can join the workforce with regards to care. We want to also demonstrate to them that they can work with clients independently, that they don't have to rely on finding work, but if they find clients they can work with clients and then work with clients. What we are trying to look at as a model is basically one of our model strategies also looking at upskilling people, monitoring evaluation over periods of time, but then we work with the care professional to train them, and then they basically work directly with the client, but we are going to be there to make sure that the care professional gets what they deserve in terms of pay. We want to regulate that. We don't want them to kind of say, okay, fine, you can earn 16,000 rupees say for a month. And then the client says, no, we can pay you eight. And they actually agree to it. So that's not really going to help the care system in the long term, because then people will say, why am I going to, study and pay, say, one of our courses we charge for the care stand is about 10,000 rupees, why I'm going to only get 8,000 rupees at the end of the day. So we want to make sure that it's affordable for people to kind of work. And it's also lucrative. I mean, if I'm getting 8,000, why don't I be Uber cab driver? Why don't I go and join as a assistant to do some work? Or I can become a cleaner, I can do more work with that. So we want to make sure that care is a professional course. It's not something that you just have anybody who can come and do. Your home help can do care. They need to have the training to do that, because that is qualifications involved. At least globally, that's qualification involved. So we have to kind of look at that now. So that's what we are basically targeting. We're also looking at social media to kind of promote things uh, from that perspective. But it's like I'm also looking at trying to work with interns who will then work every city and then promote these strategies, because going to institutions has worked for us. So we have seen students coming back, queries happening, and there's basically flow building up. So we want to do that on a larger scale, because going to a client directly makes more sense than advertising for it. So that is basically what we are seeing from our perspective.
No, I think this has been a very interesting point which you mentioned about affordability, because if the course has to scale up and people have to take up those skills, then it's very important to be accessible, affordable, and also people should be able to make a career out of it. Because as you rightly said, people might look at other alternative, attractive opportunities, which might, as you rightly said, maybe an Uber cab driver or a call center executive, which might give them that status and the money. So I think that's also a very important point which you have mentioned, and I think you have brought it out. So thank you.